Commander Kevin Taylor stood at the command center of Earth's orbital defense station, his eyes fixed on the massive display screen before him. The coffee in his hand had grown cold hours ago, forgotten the moment the strange signals appeared at the edge of their detection range. "Sir, the objects are slowing down," reported Lieutenant Lisa Martinez from her weapons console. Her fingers moved quickly across the holographic display, gathering more data. "They're dropping out of faster than light travel." Kevin placed his coffee cup down and leaned forward. After years of wondering if humanity was alone in the universe, they finally had their answer. The objects approaching Earth were clearly ships, massive ones that dwarfed anything humans had built. "Get me a direct line to Earth Command," Kevin ordered, his voice steady despite the tension in the room. "And start running analysis on their technology." Before Earth Command could respond, the alien ships made first contact themselves. A signal burst through all communication channels, and a holographic figure appeared in the center of the command room. The alien stood nearly 8 feet tall, its scaled skin reflecting light in an almost metallic way. "I am Supreme Commander Zexthor of the Tarkith Empire," the figure announced in perfect English, clearly using some form of advanced translation technology. "Your planet has been chosen for integration into our empire. Surrender now, and your species will be allowed to serve." Lisa's console suddenly lit up with warning signals. "Sir, they're powering up weapons." Kevin stepped forward, maintaining his composure. "This is Commander Kevin Taylor of the Earth Defense Force. We welcome peaceful contact with other civilizations, but we will not surrender our world." "Perhaps we could." The alien commander laughed, the sound like grinding metal. "Your primitive species still uses projectile weapons and chemical rockets. Your technology is barely beyond industrial level. You have nothing that could harm our ships." As if to demonstrate his point, one of the alien vessels fired a beam of energy at Earth's nearest defense platform. The structure, built to withstand meteor impacts, vaporized instantly. "That was a warning," Zexthor stated. "You have 1 Earth hour to surrender." The hologram vanished, leaving the command center in tense silence. Lisa's voice broke through the quiet. "Sir, I noticed something strange during their weapons demonstration." She pulled up a detailed scan on the main screen. "Their shields, they're incredibly advanced, but they seem to have unusual gaps in certain frequency ranges. It's like they're only defending against what they consider to be weapons." Kevin walked over to her station, studying the data. "Explain." "Well," Lisa continued, her excitement growing, "they're perfectly defended against plasma weapons, energy beams, and advanced projectiles. But simpler things, they might not even register as threats to their systems." "You mean our primitive technology might actually be an advantage?" Kevin asked, a slight smile forming on his face. "Exactly. Their sensors are so advanced, they might completely overlook anything they consider obsolete." Lisa pulled up more data. "And sir, we have a lot of obsolete technology." Kevin returned to his command position, his mind already forming a plan. "Get me Earth Command again, and contact every major industrial and manufacturing center on the planet. If they think our technology is primitive, let's show them just how creative humans can be with basic tools." He looked at the screen showing the alien fleet. They had no idea that their greatest advantage, their advanced technology, might prove to be their biggest weakness against human ingenuity. Earth's hour was beginning, but humanity wasn't preparing to surrender. They were preparing to show the Tarkith Empire why underestimating humans was a dangerous mistake. Chief Engineer Daniel Wright wasn't looking for a breakthrough when it happened. He was just trying to fix the coffee machine in the lunar base's engineering section while monitoring the alien fleet through his old tablet computer. The aliens had extended their deadline by 6 hours after Earth had pretended to begin surrender negotiations. The coffee machine sparked as Daniel reconnected its power supply. At that exact moment, his tablet showed something strange, a ripple in the alien ship's shield pattern directly above the base. "That's weird," he muttered, hitting the power switch again. The shield ripple appeared once more. Daniel grabbed his communicator. Command Center, this is right. I need to speak with Dr. Amanda Collins immediately. 10 minutes later, Amanda stood in the engineering bay, her eyes wide as Daniel demonstrated his discovery. Do it again, she said, watching her advanced sensor readings. Daniel switched the coffee machine on and off. Each time, the alien shield patterns showed the same disruption. It's not just the coffee machine, Amanda said, excitement in her voice. It's the way our basic electrical systems work. Their shields aren't designed to handle simple electromagnetic interference. They're too advanced, like trying to catch a baseball with a force field designed to stop missiles. They quickly gathered more equipment from around the base: old radios, electric motors, even a microwave from the break room. Each primitive electrical device created its own unique pattern of interference with the alien shields. Colonel Richard Bennett arrived as they were testing an old construction mech. The massive yellow machine's electric systems created an even larger disruption in the alien shields. Can we use this? The colonel asked, watching the readings. Amanda nodded eagerly. Their whole defensive system is built around stopping advanced weapons. But our older technology, it's like static noise to their systems. They filter it out as background interference, which actually creates weak points in their shields. And the best part, Daniel added, is that they can't detect what's causing it. Their sensors are too advanced to register our primitive equipment as a threat. As if to prove his point, a small alien scout ship passed over the lunar base. Its sensors swept the area but didn't react to the running construction mech, even though it was clearly affecting their shields. Get everyone working on this, Colonel Bennett ordered. I want every piece of industrial equipment, every old electronic device, everything we've got that might interfere with their systems. We're calling it Project Retrograde. They worked through the next few hours, testing different combinations of equipment. The breakthrough came when they powered up 3 construction mechs at once. The combined electromagnetic interference created a hole in the alien scout ship shields large enough to see with the naked eye. The alien ship never noticed. Send word to Earth, Colonel Bennett said, a smile spreading across his face. Tell them to start gathering every piece of construction equipment they can find. And get me Commander Taylor. Daniel watched as more alien ships moved into position around Earth, their crews confident in their superior technology. He thought about all the millions of pieces of primitive equipment humans used every day. Construction machines, industrial tools, old electronics that could be modified and turned into something the aliens would never expect. They think we're primitive, Amanda said, standing beside him. But sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. Daniel nodded, looking at his tablet's display of the alien fleet. And we humans are very good at simple solutions to complex problems. The coffee machine behind them buzzed and sparked again, creating another ripple in the alien shields. Earth's counterattack was about to begin, and it would start with the very technology the aliens had dismissed as worthless. Captain Peter Morrison walked through the repurposed car factory, watching workers modify ordinary construction equipment into weapons. The sound of welding and machinery filled the air. Just 2 weeks ago, this place made family sedans. Now it was part of humanity's best hope for survival. Captain, you need to see this, called Dr. Susan Carter from her testing area. She stood next to what looked like a regular mining laser, the kind used to cut through rock in quarries. Watch what happens when we combine it with the electromagnetic interference from our construction equipment. She powered up an old bulldozer engine next to the mining laser. On her computer screen, they could see an alien shield simulation flicker and weaken. Then she fired the mining laser. Instead of bouncing off the shield, the beam went straight through. The mining laser isn't even registering as a weapon on their systems, Susan explained, her eyes bright with excitement. Their shields automatically filter it out as industrial equipment. We've modified 50 of these already. Peter nodded, impressed. How many can we make? Every quarry and mining company on Earth has these. Thousands. She patted the mining laser. And this is just the beginning. In another corner of the factory, Engineer John Phillips was working with old radio equipment. "The aliens can't decode our old analog signals," he reported as Peter approached. "Their computers are too advanced. They're looking for complex encryption, but can't understand simple amplitude modulation." Peter watched as John demonstrated how they could send messages using technology from the 1950s. The alien ship's sensors didn't even notice the transmissions. "We're setting up a global communication network using old ham radios," John said. "The aliens think they've cut off our communications, but they can't detect these signals. They're too simple for their systems to recognize." The first real test of their new weapons came sooner than expected. An alien patrol ship approached the factory, probably drawn by all the activity. Peter watched the tactical screen as their modified equipment went into action. First, they powered up 30 construction vehicles at once, creating massive electromagnetic interference. The alien ship's shields wavered, creating gaps. Then they fired 3 mining lasers through the weakened shields. The alien ship never saw it coming. Its sensors, designed to detect advanced energy weapons, didn't register the mining lasers as threats until they had already cut through the hull. The ship crashed in an empty field outside the city. "Send word to all other facilities," Peter ordered. "The mining laser modifications work. Start mass production immediately." He looked at the tactical map showing alien ships in orbit. They still outnumbered Earth's forces, but now humanity had a fighting chance. More factories around the world were being converted, more ordinary equipment was being turned into weapons the aliens couldn't detect. "They thought we were primitive," Susan said, standing beside him. "They never considered that being primitive might be an advantage." Peter watched as more modified mining lasers were loaded onto trucks for distribution. "Sometimes the old ways work best," he said. "And we humans have a lot of old ways they haven't seen yet." The aliens had given Earth 3 more days to finalize surrender terms. They had no idea that with each passing hour, humanity was building an arsenal right under their noses, using technology so basic they couldn't even see it. The real war was about to begin, and Earth's weapons would come from the most unexpected places. Major Laura Thompson watched from her hidden command post as everyday vehicles rolled through the streets of Chicago. To any normal observer, it looked like regular traffic. Garbage trucks, street cleaners, and construction vehicles. To the alien ships above, their sensors showed nothing but primitive machinery, not worth their attention. But Laura knew better. Each vehicle had been modified over the past week. Garbage trucks now carried modified mining lasers in their compactor units. Street sweepers contained electromagnetic pulse generators made from old radio parts. Construction cranes held powerful cutting equipment that could slice through alien armor. "Status report," she said into her old-style radio handset. "All units in position," came the response from her team. "The aliens haven't changed their patrol pattern. They still think we're just cleaning up the city." Laura smiled. The aliens had gotten cocky after 3 weeks of occupation. They thought they had Earth completely under control. Their ships regularly patrolled the cities, making sure humans were following their orders to prepare for integration into their empire. "Start Phase 1, Laura ordered. Across the city, sanitation workers began their regular routes. But today was different. As the garbage trucks passed under hovering alien patrol ships, they activated their hidden weapons. The combination of old electric motors and modified mining lasers created chaos. The first alien ship didn't even realize it was under attack until its hull had been breached. Its sensors, designed to detect advanced weapons, had completely ignored the primitive garbage truck below it. "Phase 2, go," Laura commanded. Street sweepers moved into position, their electromagnetic pulse generators powering up. The aliens finally realized something was wrong, but their sensors couldn't identify the threat. Their advanced targeting systems couldn't lock onto the modified civilian vehicles. An alien cruiser appeared overhead, trying to help its patrol ships. But it faced the same problem. Its computers couldn't understand what was attacking them. The ship's captain saw only primitive Earth vehicles going about their usual work. "Phase 3, execute," Laura said, watching the cruiser through her binoculars. Construction cranes across the city swung into action. Their cables, now equipped with high-powered cutting tools, sliced through alien hull plating like it was paper. The cruiser's shields, calibrated to stop energy weapons and missiles, did nothing against these simple mechanical attacks. "Ma'am," one of her officers reported, "we're getting similar reports from other cities. New York's subway maintenance vehicles just took out 2 patrol ships. London disabled a cruiser using modified street cleaning equipment. And Tokyo's garbage fleet destroyed their entire alien patrol force." Laura watched as the alien ships either retreated or fell from the sky. None of their advanced technology had helped them. They couldn't fight what they couldn't understand, and they didn't understand simple machines turned into weapons. "Send word to command," she ordered. "Operation Street Sweep is a success. Tell them to expand the program to all cities." She looked at her tactical display, showing more civilian vehicles being modified in secret warehouses across the world. The aliens still controlled the skies, but they had lost control of the streets, and they didn't even know how humans were fighting back. "They gave us 3 months to prepare for their full invasion fleet," Laura said to her team. "Let's make sure every piece of civilian equipment on Earth is ready to welcome them." The aliens had expected to find a primitive civilization ready for conquest. Instead, they were facing an enemy that could turn street cleaners into warships, and they still hadn't figured out how. Michelle Davidson stood in the control room of what used to be a cargo ship. Now, after 2 weeks of modifications, it looked more like a floating factory. Industrial equipment filled every available space, and the cargo holds contained modified mining tools instead of shipping containers. "All ships report ready," her second-in-command said. "The aliens still think we're just moving supplies between lunar bases." Michelle nodded, watching the radar screen. 5 cargo ships, all modified like hers, moved slowly across the space between Earth and its moon. Above them, alien warships patrolled, their sensors showing nothing but primitive human transport vessels. "Begin Operation Trojan," she ordered. The first sign that something was different came when her ship's old diesel generators powered up. The electromagnetic interference they created made the alien ship's shields flicker. The aliens had learned to expect this from Earth's primitive equipment, but they hadn't learned to fear it yet. They should have. "Launch mining drones," Michelle commanded. Hundreds of small drones, originally designed for asteroid mining, emerged from the cargo ship's holds. Their simple electric motors created more interference, and their basic cutting lasers were invisible to alien sensors. The alien fleet finally realized something was wrong when the first mining drone cut through a warship's hull. But their advanced targeting systems couldn't lock onto the small, primitive machines. Their computers, designed to track high-tech weapons, simply couldn't process the threat. "They're scrambling their fighters," someone reported, "but they still can't get a proper lock on our ships or the drones." Michelle watched as chaos spread through the alien fleet. Their ships fired advanced energy weapons randomly, trying to hit targets their computers couldn't see. Most shots missed. The few that hit the cargo ships bounced off their hulls. Hulls now reinforced with simple steel plates and rubber shock absorbers that absorbed energy better than any advanced alien armor. "Begin Phase 2, Michelle ordered. The cargo ships now activated their secret weapons, modified terraforming equipment. Machines designed to reshape planetary surfaces turned their power against alien ships. Magnetic beam projectors, originally meant to move lunar rocks, pulled alien fighters off course. Industrial cutting lasers, too simple for alien sensors to detect, sliced through expensive alien armor. "Ma'am," her communications officer called out, "Luna Base reports the alien fleet is retreating from lunar orbit. They're falling back to Earth orbit." Michelle allowed herself a small smile. The aliens were running from cargo ships and mining equipment. Their mighty warfleet, capable of destroying planets, couldn't handle humanity's converted industrial tools. "Send word to Earth Command," she said. "The lunar space lanes are clear. Tell them to launch the rest of the modified cargo fleet." She looked at the tactical display, showing more cargo ships rising from Earth. Each one carried different industrial equipment turned into weapons. Logging machinery modified to tear through alien hulls. Construction equipment adapted to disable alien shields. Mining tools converted to slice through advanced armor. The aliens thought our technology was primitive, Michelle said to her crew. They never considered that sometimes the simple solution is the best one. Around her ship, alien wreckage floated in space, destroyed by equipment that had been mining asteroids just weeks ago. The aliens had expected Earth to fight with advanced weapons. Instead, humanity had turned its entire industrial base into an arsenal that the aliens couldn't even detect. The tide of war was turning, and it was turning because humans had proven that anything could become a weapon, especially the things your enemy thinks are harmless. Colonel Nicole Brooks watched the final preparations for Operation Household Thunder from her command center. On hundreds of screens before her, she could see Earth's forces getting ready. But these weren't normal military units. They were cleaning crews, maintenance workers, and construction teams. At least, that's what they looked like to the alien sensors. All cities report ready, her aide said. The aliens still think we're just doing routine maintenance. Nicole nodded, checking the time. The aliens had grown nervous after losing their lunar fleet to cargo ships, but they still couldn't figure out how humans were fighting back. Their sensors, designed for advanced technology, remained blind to Earth's true weapons. Begin Phase 1, she ordered. Release the cleaning drones. Master Sergeant Ryan Cooper, leading the ground teams, gave the signal. Across every major city under alien control, thousands of cleaning drones activated. These small robots, normally used to wash windows on skyscrapers or clean streets, had been modified over the past month. The aliens barely noticed them. Their sensors showed only simple machines going about their programmed tasks. They didn't see the hidden equipment inside each drone, built from old television parts and modified radio transmitters. Phase 1 complete, Ryan reported. The drones are in position. Nicole watched her tactical display as the cleaning drones covered every major alien installation on Earth. The aliens had set up bases in city centers, thinking they were safe behind their advanced shields and sensors. Execute Phase 2, she commanded. All at once, the cleaning drones activated their hidden systems. Old radio parts created interference that confused alien sensors. Modified window washing equipment sprayed special chemicals that stuck to alien shield generators. Simple electric motors disrupted alien communications. The alien response was chaos. Their advanced weapons couldn't target the small drones. Their shields, designed to stop energy weapons and missiles, did nothing against simple chemical sprays and mechanical tools. Launch Phase 3, Nicole ordered. This was the big one. As the aliens struggled with the drones, Earth's modified maintenance vehicles moved in. Street sweepers equipped with electromagnetic pulse generators knocked out alien power systems. Window washing platforms carried teams with industrial cutting tools that sliced through alien armor. Garbage trucks deployed modified compression units that crushed alien equipment. "Ma'am," her communications officer called out, reports coming in from all cities. Alien ground forces are retreating. They're falling back to their ships. Nicole smiled. The aliens were running from cleaning equipment and maintenance tools. Their mighty army, which had conquered dozens of worlds, couldn't handle Earth's converted civilian machinery. Begin Final Phase, she ordered. Around the world, construction equipment moved into action. Cranes swung their modified cables, pulling down alien installations. Bulldozers, their simple engines creating shield-disrupting interference, pushed through alien defenses. Excavators, equipped with cutting tools, tore apart alien technology. "This is Earth Command," Nicole broadcast on all frequencies, using old AM radio signals the aliens couldn't block. "Operation Household Thunder is a success. All cities report alien forces in full retreat." She looked at the tactical display showing alien ships frantically lifting off from Earth, abandoning their ground forces. The aliens had expected Earth to fight with advanced weapons. Instead, humanity had turned its entire civilian infrastructure into an arsenal that the aliens couldn't even detect. The war wasn't over, but Earth had proven something important. When humans got creative, anything could become a weapon, even a cleaning drone. Commander Kevin Taylor stood on the bridge of his converted container ship, watching Earth's final battle unfold. The Exarcheth Empire had returned with their main invasion fleet, just as they promised. But this time, Earth was ready. Their supreme commander is sending another message. Lieutenant Lisa Martinez reported from her station, now built from modified ham radio equipment. A hologram of Supreme Commander Zex Thor appeared, but he looked less confident than during their first meeting. "Your primitive resistance ends now," he declared. "Our main fleet carries weapons that can crack planets. Surrender, and we may still show mercy." Kevin smiled. "You still don't understand, do you? Let me show you something." He nodded to Lisa, who pressed a button on her console. Across Earth's orbit, thousands of satellites activated. Not military satellites. These were old weather satellites, communication relays, and space junk that humans had modified over the past 2 months. "What is this?" Zex Thor demanded as his ship's sensors tried and failed to identify the threat. "Just some old equipment we had lying around," Kevin replied. "You might want to watch closely." The satellites began broadcasting on simple AM frequencies, creating a web of electromagnetic interference that made the alien fleet's shields flicker and fail. Their advanced sensors, trying to track thousands of primitive signal sources at once, began to overload and shut down. "Impossible," Zex Thor shouted. "These are just obsolete machines." "Exactly," Kevin said. "And here's Phase 2. At his signal, Earth's converted civilian fleet moved into action. Cargo ships carrying modified mining equipment, passenger shuttles armed with industrial cutting tools, space tugs equipped with electromagnetic pulse generators. All technology so simple that alien sensors couldn't even detect it as a threat. The alien fleet fired their advanced weapons, but without their sensors, they couldn't get a lock on Earth's ships. Their energy beams and plasma torpedoes shot harmlessly into space, while Earth's primitive weapons took their toll. "Your fleet is in chaos," Kevin observed. "Would you like to see Phase 3? Before Zex Thor could respond, Earth revealed its final surprise. Every piece of space debris, every abandoned satellite, every piece of old equipment humans had left in orbit over the past century had been modified and turned into a weapon. The aliens had dismissed it all as junk, their sensors filtering it out as background noise. That junk now came to life, attacking the alien fleet with simple but effective weapons. Mining lasers cut through hull plating. Magnetic grapples tore ships apart. Old radio equipment scrambled alien computers. "This is impossible," Zex Thor said, watching his mighty fleet fall to pieces. "You're supposed to be primitive." "That's where you made your mistake," Kevin replied. "You thought primitive meant weak. But sometimes the simple solution is the best one. And we humans are very good at simple solutions." The alien commander's hologram flickered as his ship's systems failed under the assault of Earth's converted technology. The mighty Exarcheth fleet, which had conquered 100 worlds, was being defeated by modified civilian equipment and space junk. "Remember this lesson," Kevin said as the hologram faded. "Humans can turn anything into a weapon, especially the things you think are harmless." Hours later, the remaining alien ships fled from Earth's orbit, leaving behind their wrecked fleet as a testament to human ingenuity. Earth had won not with advanced technology, but by turning everything the aliens thought primitive into weapons they never saw coming. The Exarcheth Empire would spread the word. Earth was not to be invaded. Its people could turn cleaning drones into warships and satellites into weapons. But most importantly, they had proven that being primitive just meant being creative in ways advanced civilizations couldn't understand.